Why isn't Bill Nye addressing this in any of his television programs? Do you know?
Right.
You're like, why are you sitting here? You're still teaching me how to make fucking volcanoes out of baking soda and vinegar? Fuck that. I'm trying to see how much cum it takes for a belly to be full. Bill Nye? Bang, 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 skeet, skeet, skeet. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another phenomenal episode of My Mama Told Me, the podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories, and we finally work to prove that Peabo Bryson is a terrible name for a person, but a wonderful name for a very obedient police dog. It is the type of name that you want to hear an officer yell out right before he bites a black person in the leg. That's the theory I'm spreading. Poor Peabo. But, you know, he had some classic hits. He did all right for himself. Peebo's doing fine with that goddamn dog name. I'm your host, Langston Kerman. As always, I'm coming in hot, baby. This is how I do. Don't pretend like you don't know how I behave. I'm doing me, baby. I'm excited. I'm fucking excited today because my guest is a dear friend, a person I've known for many years, all the way back to when I was living in Boston. I lived in Boston for some time, and he was sort of a king of Boston, if you will. He was a man, he's from Boston, but man, he was a man who knew Boston. He walked the streets and he pointed at people, and people be like, hey, oh shit, you here? That's tight. Oh man, oh. They make noises like that just in enthusiasm at his presence. He's so funny. You know him from his appearances on Desus and Mero, on Pause with Sam J. He is also on the fucking, this is what's so amazing about this gentleman. He's on the goddamn advisory board of urban agriculture in New York City. That's insane. And he is the director of a few community gardens in Brooklyn, and otherwise a dear friend. So funny. Give it up for my friend, Mr. Kofi Thomas.
Wang rude boy. What's up, homie? What's up, man? Good to hear you. Hell yeah.
I was hoping you were going to keep the accent going. And then they just didn't know that you don't talk like that for the entire episode.
Nah. Me speak Yankee talk. I already lost y'all. I know I already lost some of y'all. Don't worry.
Keep up.
Yeah. Keep up. Now I'll go back to my hood vernacular. What's up, everybody out there?
Yeah, I'm very excited you're here, and I'm even more excited because you came with a conspiracy theory that is both lofty in nature, but also very, I think it covers a lot of territory in terms of hip hop rumors and sort of legend. And I've actually added or reshaped the title a bit to make it so that it's all encompassing for some of the things that we're going to talk about. But you said, My Mama Told Me.
The Legend of Lil Kim.
Tell me all of the legend that you know.
So this is, and let me paint the picture, okay?
Is that Whispers in the Dark voice? Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a time when people had on a fresh new pair of Lugz boots, okay? When you got excited to see the Jet Beauty of the Week. All right. So this is a time, this is a climate of rumors. All right. You heard something, you weren't thinking, let me go try to check a smartphone. There wasn't that. It was excitement, and it was, who else can I tell about this?
Yes.
You know, because then you felt like you had an insight to the streets. If you could then tell somebody who didn't know about what was going on, right?
There was to what you're describing, there was a point in our society before the internet really, or social media really had taken over, where you could legitimately be in charge of what another person knew. And it was a real power that no longer exists because we all have a Twitter feed that can easily break our brains quicker and more effectively.
Yeah. It's not nearly as fun when you can just debunk something so quickly. And it really was magical to have like any young middle school kid with the power to like shift the conversation of an entire school for a day to come in hot with the rumor that like his cousin told him. And then by like third period, everybody was like murmuring and whispering like what Derek had told him. Yeah. So that was, and then what was so cool about the source was like if you said, like I had my boy DeWan and his cousin was in the gang. So he'd always come back with good stories. So whatever he'd come back, people be like, what's going on out there? Almost like he was like, like he was the plug.
What the streets talking about?
What they talk about, right? So, and it's funny because it's like, it like you could almost just see people whispering around like around like recess and like the lunchroom. And then the story when it got to me was I heard.
Uh-oh. I love the tension. I just love the tension you're building. God damn it. Go ahead.
That Lil Kim had to get her stomach pumped because she had so much semen from blowing the Wu-Tang Clan.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes.
This didn't go exactly where I thought it was going to go. Because this is actually, and I'm so happy it went where it went. Please do not take this as me pushing back. Kofi, don't you dare take it that way.
I won't. I won't let you.
What I'll say is, I had heard the rumor of her having sucked so many dicks that she had to get her stomach pumped. And I had heard the rumor of her fucking every member of the Wu-Tang Clan. I had not heard that those were one and the same.
So it's one of those things where like, are these separate incidents?
Yes.
Or was it one day full of hedonism and fornication, in the back of a tour bus?
Sure.
And then she blew them, but she would have to have blown them before the show happened because I heard that she passed out, then had to get it pumped.
Oh,
and she was
meaning
on stage.
That she had a show. Let's just paint the picture for the audience clearly as possible. In theory, the suggestion that this person brought to you in middle school to your lunch table is that Lil Kim, before a show, was like, I need to suck some dicks. Who's around? Every member of Wu-Tang? Perfect. Bring those fellas back to this tour bus. And she proceeded to suck every single dick so often because there's no way just sucking 9 dicks at the time. I believe by this time, Old Dirty Bastard had to have been dead. 9 dicks would have filled her stomach to the brim. So she sucked every dick over and over again till it was full. And then she went out to perform. And at the performance is when she passed out and then subsequently had to go to the hospital to get her stomach pumped.
Right. A very rare, serious, severe medical procedure. And what was, I think also what was so delightful about the story was when you heard that in middle school, you didn't question it in terms of, oh, are you sure? Like was Inspector Deck there? Like you weren't doing that. It was
Inspector Deck has a family. He would never do that to his wife and his children.
He would not turn his back. And I know you got personally. He would.
He's got God in the name. He believes in it.
Yeah, he's a devout Christian with a couple of bodies. Leave him out of this. So there was none of that trying to retort or debunk it. It was an excitement about the possibilities of a woman out there who could fillet in a way, because we didn't even know what a blowjob was. None of us, to my knowledge, were even coming yet.
Whoa.
So we didn't know if...
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to stop you because...
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. If you ain't coming, that's how they get you. Anyway, tell the rest of your story.
I don't know who got me.
I don't either, but that's how they get you.
Yeah. But as far as I could tell, because we were fifth grade, so everybody's about 10 years old. So nobody's coming, right? And they could be lying about it, but nobody's coming. So they lying about it, right? So I'm like, so we don't even know how much semen it would take for someone to need their stomach to medically be pumped.
Yes.
So we're just believing it on the strength of, yo, this is so wild. And also, like, what kind of like amazing world is outside when we get older where women are blowing so many guys at a time that they got to get it pumped, and all the Wu-Tang is together, and they're tight and friends and getting blown as friends.
Oh man, you know what? I will say that you just articulated something about this that I don't think I had ever considered, or at least maybe it's because of when I originally heard this. Is that I think I heard it at an older age. I think it came to you a little younger than I got it. And I think because of that, some of that magic, that twinkle in my eye had been lost. But for you, there was like a beauty to this where it's like, when I become a big man, I can be around all my favorite artists, getting my dick sucked by women and who will go until they literally can't go anymore.
Right. Which is, and again, just being so amazed by like hearing somebody climb Mount Everest, you know?
Yeah.
Like, at the time, I think the most I had ever like I had never even thought about somebody being that being that passionate about anything.
Yeah.
You know?
She had to have really loved dick sucking in a way that you know, Malcolm Gladwell talks about 10,000 hours, and she had to have been willing to put in her 10,000 for dick sucking.
Yeah. That night was her tipping point. She went through the 36 chambers and didn't stop. Just kept sucking and sucking.
Okay, so this person, what'd you say his name was? Dewan? What was
Dewan? Dewan had an older cousin who was in a gang, and he used to always have like the latest info on the streets.
All the stuff that King magazine wasn't publishing. He had it.
Exclusive.
So Dewan comes, he says this to you and your classmates, I assume, at this table. Do you then go on to help spread this rumor, or are you like, I'm gonna keep this close to the chest, and this is just for Kofi now. This just for me.
I mean, I took a moment, you know, just to inhale it, you know, just to be present. Yeah. But after that, it was really that type of scene where like you're smiling and you look up and you look around the room and everybody's talking about it. And you're like, sure. This thing has already made its way around the school. You ain't got to tell nobody. Everybody's talking about it.
This isn't a thing where like you have even the chance to be the rumor spreader, because the rumor has already taken hold and done the zombie bite around the room.
That's what I was thinking. It's like it's just like that. It's just like, you know, Will Smith looking around, but everyone's talking about Lil Kim blowing Wu-Tang.
You mean right at the end when he's looking at the apartment or the house for the last time? Damn, everybody talking about Lil Kim sucking off Wu-Tang.
Yeah, she's a legend.
She is a legend. And I don't know that this is the legend that she wanted for herself. I don't know that this is the legend Lil Kim imagined, but maybe it is. Maybe in your mind, this is exactly where she wanted to be.
Yeah, I mean, and she said things in songs that are, I'd say, almost equally as impressive in terms of sexual acumen to that. So, I mean, I don't remember her trying to like hop on the TV. Like that never happened. So I don't know if it, you know, was anything against her image at the time. Cause that poster, like the iconic poster, I feel was like somewhere around there too.
Yeah.
And that was sending a lot of young boys into men.
Sure.
Me included. Imagination was running wild.
I do love the idea that you feel like Lil Kim should be getting on television and being like, that nigga Dewan is lying. Whatever his cousin told him is not true. I didn't suck off Master Killer. I am an upstanding woman.
Yes. I, Lil Kim, categorically deny everything Dewan and his big head cousin said about me.
There's a lot of shit coming out of Dorchester, which I don't know about because I'm not from that area, but I've heard a lot of shit, and I just want to address it here with you on TRL.
Right. You, Carson Daly, get the exclusive about me. Lil Kim, Queen B. I might do some hoish things, but I am not a hoe, and I do not know Wu-Tang like that.
Okay, fuck you, Dewan.
Yeah, fuck you, Dewan. You personally, your little 10-year-old ass. Fuck you.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back with more Kofi Thomas and more My Mama Told Me. And we are back.
Mom, do you ever feel, not so fresh?
Ew, no.
Yeah, we're back here with more Kofi Thomas, more My Mama Told Me. We're still talking about the possibility that Lil Kim sucked so many dicks, specifically Wu-Tang Clan member dicks, that she eventually needed to get her stomach pumped, had to go to the hospital, and ruined that show for a lot of fans. Has there ever been a point, now considering the rumor, considering what Dewan told you, where you started to second guess the possibility of this being true, where you went, I don't know if Dewan was being completely straight with me that day?
I'll be honest with you. The older I get, I haven't lost any of my love for the rumor.
Sure.
I've only kind of tempered it a little bit to say maybe it was just like a couple members of the Wu-Tang. I can concede it's not plausible for them all to be in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
But it is well within reason. At that time, everyone's partying together. They were at a party. Something happened. They got very intimate. And to this day, I don't know if there's a limit to how much semen someone could swallow. Maybe she had, an allergic reaction. There's a lot of things that could have happened where she had to get her stomach pumped. It doesn't mean that she didn't blow more than one member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Sure. That she could have still blown multiple members of the Wu-Tang Clan. Even if you're coming in this with a rational mind, you're saying there's still a possibility she blew multiple members, and maybe she didn't need to have her stomach pumped, but merely did have to go to the hospital for some sort of like difficulties relating to those penises.
Exactly, and it's also one of those things where nobody to this day in my entire life has ever tried to even prove me wrong. Nobody from the Wu, nobody from Kim's camp, nobody, not Little C's, nobody.
Sure.
And the rumors were around the quantity of it. And, that's not something that we know. I know people get stomach aches all the time, I know people get all kinds of food allergies. Yep. Sometimes I eat some, sometimes if I get like a street burrito, I might have to, be on the toilet. So who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities. That's all. It's not beyond reason.
Okay. Well, let's start to address some of the reasons that you're referring to. These salacious rumors, as it were, according to everything that I could find. And Kofi, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this.
All right.
According to everything that I could find, there is no evidence of Lil Kim having sex with all 10 members of the Wu-Tang Clan. I should say that I've sort of separated some of these conspiracies, right?
Okay.
Because I originally understood them as separate things. So I'm going to address the conspiracy separately, but you feel free to address them however you need to.
I'm
you know
ready.
what I mean?
I'm ready to finally get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. There's no evidence.
Yeah.
Traditional evidence. Now, you and I both know traditional evidence ain't always how it works. You know what I mean?
No.
Like there's there's facts and then there's facts. And
right. There's a what have been said. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of I heard. There's a lot of well, she didn't say nothing about it. So,
right.
So
she didn't say nothing about it. So you're nasty, Lil Kim.
Yeah.
So apparently, because there is no evidence necessarily of her having sex with all 10 members. However, to my surprise, and this got me really excited, there does seem to have been, I was able to track down a bit of an origin story for where this story might have come from. I did not anticipate finding this. I thought it was just going to be complete nonsense. But apparently in April of 2015, a person named Nathan Sellers was on an episode of Divorce Court. I assume you're a big fan of Divorce Court. You know the show well.
Daytime TV.
On Divorce Court, this person, Nathan Sellers, accused his estranged girlfriend of sleeping with every member of the Wu-Tang Clan. He went on Divorce Court to say, hey, you nasty whore, you've hurt me in a way that can never be undone because you had sex with literally every member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Boom. I mean, I don't want to say exhibit A, but y'all out there hear it. So we have just established in our public court of opinion that the Wu-Tang Clan has on more than one occasion allegedly been together for a sexual act. Your Honor,
so you hear this and you go, well, this ain't Lil Kim, but this is evidence that they would do it previous to this and or after this, which means that Lil Kim very well could still be on the table.
Oh, yes. That just increased the possibility. Because previously, any member of the Wu, whether it be Ghostface, whether it be RZA, could have said, we don't do that. But now, allegedly, you did that to somebody's wife who's now getting a divorce.
You broke up a happy home, Wu-Tang Clan, and y'all are going to have to pay for this eventually. So Leah Palmquist is the accused woman's name, and she said on Divorce Court, she said there is in fact no basis to this story, that this gentleman, Nathan Sellers, who's a black man, and Leah Palmquist is a white woman. I don't know why those facts matter, but they do to me. I think it's important.
No, they matter. Especially this month. They matter.
And happy Black History Month to everybody, honestly. Yeah. But so she said that's not true. She said she went to a Wu-Tang Clan show where she was able to meet the members after the show. She managed to get to sneak backstage and then onto their tour bus, where they later went to a hotel room and partied until 7 a.m. They partied together until 7 a.m. Now, Leah, this is where I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Leah also claims that the quote-unquote partying included them spending hours talking about politics. Leah says that they spent lots of hours talking about politics and that it was not actually sex.
Okay. Now let me just put this out there, okay, to everybody out there, right? To the jury.
Yep.
If I tell you I went to Red Lobster. Okay. and I was there till 2 a.m.
Sure.
All right. And I came home. But I said I didn't eat any biscuits. Would you believe me? That is what we are dealing with here. Leah, Liar, Halifam, whatever her last name is, Palaman. There is no, and this type of thing that I've noticed where like people will put like a little bit of truth in to a story so that you don't know that they're lying. Okay? Oh. So she tried to put in the fact that they were talking about politics.
Yeah.
Which is believable because I could see RZA talking about politics for like way too long.
Sure.
You know, like going from like talking about like how there's parallels between like the Shaolin and local politics and how
sure.
Like,
and we all know Raekwon's running for city council. We know that they're passionate about politics.
Right, support his campaign. Raekwon is definitely out there.
Raekwon the chef for city council.
City council. Yo, so I feel so like that part, like that little bit of truth is to throw you off the scent of it being a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there's again, you don't sneak backstage, sneak backstage, sneak onto the tour bus, stay to the hotel till 7 a.m. No, and then they were all in the same hotel room, all the members.
Right. And I will say that is the odd part of this story is the way that they all sort of like continue to hang out together for the whole of the night feels a little bit like one of two things happened. Either y'all were having sex with this woman and that was the reason that you decided to kick it all night. And it was specifically for being able to like run this odd super train. Or alternatively, you don't know what the Wu-Tang Clan members look like. And so there were just 10 niggas around you. And you were like, Raekwon was there and Ghostface. And it was like, now you were just hanging out with Inspector Deck all night and 10 of his friends. But you thought it was the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yo, that's so hilariously plausible. It's for a girl to be like, I'm hanging out with the Lizard, with Low Space Dilla, Baquan.
Yeah, they're all here.
They're all here. And dudes would do that. We would lie. Say that.
Sure.
Oh my
Why
God.
not?
Say, I'm in the Wu-Tang. Come back to our hotel.
No, 100%. I remember being in college and going to Michigan, and there was a point where we would go to like white frat parties, and because the white kids didn't actually know what the football team looked like, if enough black dudes showed up at one time, they would assume we were football players. And I fully remember leaning into being like our star running back for the sake of benefiting from whatever energy I could get, pussy, drinks, whatever. It didn't matter.
Good
we
on
were
you.
kicking it.
Good on you using that card. Black History Month. Bro, I'm from Boston, Dorchester. So I've been, confused by the black people my entire life.
Yep.
And there's been times when I've walked up to bars and they've been like, are you here early from Kanye's party? And I was like, yes,
absolutely.
Yes, that's me. I've sat in VIP for like an hour before Kanye and his party came to a bar way back when.
Yeah.
Because they thought I was, you're black, so you must have been with Kanye earlier.
You know Kanye.
At his party. Yeah. I've been let into bars after a Boston Celtics game. I can go to a bar and people be like, you're here, like same thing. Oh yeah, we got your section ready. I'll go to the section, have a couple of drinks, and then when and this is back in the day, so then like Walter McCarty and like Rajon Rondo came in, and I was like, yo, what up? And dapped him up, and they just dapped me up because I'm the black guy in this all-white bar.
And you're a tall dude. You can sort of play the line enough that they're like, maybe he's the 15th player on this Celtics team that I don't know about, and I can't prove it.
Definitely took advantage. And the Celtics were not good at all. So nobody really knew their faces that well.
Sure.
Except for like me, because I'm a huge fan. But like me and Rondo were like the same height. So we'd come in, dap them up.
Yeah.
Hang out, drink. Walter McCarty would try to sing. Like it was a whole night of partying under like the the confusion that I might be another black person.
Yeah, so in theory, our sweetheart Leah Palmquist was in fact just talking politics with somebody who kind of looked like Method Man all night long. And she even has a quote. I want to read this quote to you. She said, "Let me just put on the record that Wu-Tang is nothing but gentlemen." This is what she told the court. She said, "They treated me highly respectful and I would never cheat on him. I don't even know if this is appropriate to say, but I'd never be a bust down or a groupie in that type of situation. I kept my lady points together."
Kept my lady points together. I would never be a groupie or a bust down in that type of situation.
That's right.
Okay, here's, and again, it's like she's saying too much. And that's how I know she's lying. She talking too much. Saying what she say about the Wu-Tang? What was that quote in the beginning?
That they were nothing but gentlemen.
Nothing but. That right there. Because nobody I know is nothing but a gentleman. And for you to say that, immediately in my mind, I'm like, oh, they dicked you down so well that you are grateful and you don't want to jeopardize any future dick downs. So you're like, no. And you're like winking at the camera like, no. That gentle method man, he would never. Yeah. He would never. He's the salted earth. Great guy. And I would never do that. And matter of fact, they kept bringing up how much charity work they do around the city.
It's like, I don't know if they're nothing but gentlemen. I think first and foremost, they're cocaine salesmen, and then they're gentlemen.
They've said in most of their lyrics on how they have cases and people to hurt. And how they're not to be fucked with. They don't say fuck with us. They say
don't fuck with us. We're very classy boys.
we are very debonair. Please keep your distance, ladies. Do not fuck with us. Don't come back to our hotel room. No, man, it's the Wu.
So this goes viral. This clip of Leah Palmquist and her boyfriend, much so that when it went viral, and I'm excited to hear your response to this before we go to break. Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, after it goes viral, it gets so popular that multiple Wu-Tang Clan members actually address the rumors directly. There's a couple of them that I would say, I think I have 4 or 5 of them that directly address the rumors. Method Man, first and foremost, immediately denied having sex with her, calling her, quote unquote, an older thought. That's Method Man's response to Leah Palmquist. RZA said he watched the episode and similarly said, I ain't been there. That's the quote from RZA. He said, I ain't been there. And Ghostface Killah said the same thing. He said, I ain't been there. And then Master Killer, this is my personal favorite, he exclaimed, they said, he yelled out, I never seen it. That's what he said. I never seen it. So this is 4 members on record saying that they did not fuck Leah Palmquist. Your thoughts?
Oh man, I ain't been there. I ain't never seen it.
Great answer.
Yo, somebody took dictation. Like he exclaimed. He shouted from the rooftop.
I ain't seen it.
Yeah, I love that they made sure to get through that emotion. Yo, I ain't seen it. Oh, that's lovely. That's just precious. I think it's within their best interest to publicly denounce seeing it, have seen it.
Yeah.
have been there.
Yep.
Is only a negative to where they are. Especially with their ambitions within acting and other media to have something like that out. I think that, they've kind of made several efforts to kind of distance themselves from that facade, that image of the Wu and running up and that type of life. So
it's interesting you say that. I think you're making an interesting point because the three of the 4 people we have on record denying it are also 3 of the most famous members of the group. And so subsequently they have a little bit more on the line if they agree to having sex with this quote unquote older thought, that maybe it's to their benefit to just be like, nope, I ain't never been there, rather than to continue to sort of toe this line of their former selves.
Oh, see, big facts on that, bro. Because if they was to keep quiet, right, then you could be like, oh, it don't really matter to them. Because if it's with the image that they want out there, or even close to it, then they don't really give a shit. Who care what Leah Liar on divorce court say? Yeah, even if it gets retweeted or whatever, who cares? So if something is possibly against your image, then you'll verbally denounce it. You know what I'm saying? You weigh that out. However, if you might have done it and it's with your image, then you might keep quiet. I don't know, like a Lil Kim. I don't know. I don't know how we got there.
Well, I think that's the perfect way to throw us a break. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more Kofi Thomas and more My Mama Told Me. And we are back.
Can you lend a nigga a pencil?
Yeah, we're back here with more Kofi Thomas, more My Mama Told Me. We're still talking about the possibility that Lil Kim could have sucked all them Wu-Tang members' dicks. This is the theory that's on the table. Kofi does not seem to be in the least bit swayed by the story of Leah Palmquist and her denial of having had sex with all 9 living members of the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, I want to circle us back to Lil Kim a little bit because we got real lost in the weeds of this Leah Palmquist character. One of the questions I had is how a journey like that of Leah Palmquist might be appropriated or unfairly or maybe fairly associated with Lil Kim. How does this white woman on divorce court suddenly become the journey that Lil Kim is meant to take on? And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
So how does she how does she take the spotlight, or how does she take, like, when you say take the journey, my brother, can you elaborate on this seeming adventure?
Yes. So I think there is an argument to be made that this was not, in fact, Lil Kim's story. This was just Leah Palmquist's story. Now, I know you're not making that argument. I'm listening. I know that ain't your argument. But I do think that there is an argument to be made that way. And I'm curious to know how you think it comes to be that a Leah Palmquist story becomes Lil Kim's story.
Okay. I will extend an olive branch here.
Okay.
All right.
We love a gracious king.
Yeah. Yes. I am merciful. Bringing it, because if, again, we can bring it back to our time of baggy jeans and clothes on backwards, where rumors really spread like wildfire, and it was a bit of a giant game of telephone where facts get misplaced and get substituted and people's names get rearranged, maybe to make something more appealing and more exciting. And so and very well could have been, I'd say, in a high probability that Wu-Tang at the time, they're rappers, they're on top of the world. Women are sneaking backstage and will do, whatever they like at that point.
Sure.
And, going into that, there is a high possibility that some woman got backstage. The guys had a long night. You know what I'm saying? They decided, hey, this is one of our bonding moments, like when you go to Thailand together. Yeah. And they started to, get a hotel room, do some type of orgy or a train, depending on where you're from. She had to go to the hospital for, I'm gonna still go to get her stomach pumped for some reason. Yeah. But it could have been a mix of, it could have been like too much hypnotic and blowing 9 dudes.
You don't know what cum and hypnotic mixed together is like. We know an Incredible Hulk. That's Hennessy. But cum and hypnotic?
Oh shit! That's a lyric in a song. Drank a little hypno, throwing it up. That's Joe Budden. Oh shit! So there's more evidence of hypnotic and cum making people sick.
Hell yeah!
All right. So I'm with you. Take this woman, this Leah Liar, right? Yeah. She's had this escapade till 7 a.m, talking politics with these great gentlemen and blowing them. Gets sick, has to go to the hospital, get her stomach pumped. People hear about that story. It's a real story. My bad to her husband. Now, we don't know Leah. The story's not doesn't have enough sizzle on it as a young kid. Who killed, what, some Leah person? No,
Leah.
What? But we already know that Lil Kim has been on tracks talking about she could fit like what'd you say, like a can in her mouth?
Mm-hmm.
Like a whole Pepsi can.
Yep.
Wild shit. She the guy with a hurricane tongues, all this, right?
Yeah.
So she already has that, right?
Olivia, our producer, immediately jumped in to clarify that it was a Sprite can. Apparently, we have deep branding roots with Sprite and not Pepsi. And she felt the need to interject. This is an odd interruption in the middle of the thing. I love it so much.
But also shows how widely known it is about Lil Kim's blowjob skills and how she boasts about it. So you take those, immaculate next level blowjob skills with this story of the whole clan getting blown, and now you've got a protagonist that is so captivating. That's like, yo, I heard Lil Kim suck the Wu-Tang Clan's dicks and had so much semen, she had to get her stomach pumped.
Yeah.
I heard that from DeWan.
I heard that from DeWan. I think what you're doing makes a lot of sense, right? In the way that like conspiracy theory rumor often works is that these stories track better with characters we can care about. And right now, with a Leah sucking on random members of the Wu-Tang Clan, we aren't fully invested in who Leah is. But if it's Lil Kim, or even worse, if Lil Kim, if we flip it, is sucking random dicks to the point that she has to get her stomach pumped, who are these men? Who do these dicks belong to? Where did this come from? These are all questions that I, the reader, the listener, the receiver of DeWan's rumor, want to know. But by adding characters that we know about, I become invested all the way through. And it's really a great form of publicity for all members involved.
Oh, yeah. I think everybody involved in that story benefited. I don't have the charts in front of me, but I'm sure all of their record sales went up, after that rumor came out. I'm sure
the
it was
day DeWan showed up to your school with new facts.
And again, it was a time when it was like, these were like bigger than life people to us. And they just got like even bigger, like, oh, like what a life, what a story that people are out there, doing things like that. And Kim didn't it wasn't any type of shaming either of like, ooh, I heard it. It was like, yo, I hope someday I can meet Lil Kim.
Sure.
Like I remember my cousin, he used to cut hair. Shout out to my big cousin D. He was doing my haircut and I was a young kid. And so like, I didn't have any sexy posters around my room, right?
Yeah.
But in the barber shop, they had, this poster must have been like 6 feet wide. And it was like that Lil Kim poster, the famous one in the leopard print type bikini in the squat. Yeah. And I used to just look at that like, yeah, that's her. She sucked all the Wu-Tang dicks. She a legend.
And I think there is, and I'm cautious to say this, but there is a slight feminist lens that you're putting on this in acknowledging that we are not shaming the person who sucked all these dicks, and in fact just saying it is a legendary choice that was made, not one that needs to be berated.
Oh my goodness, yes. And I'll take that a step further. Even back then, I was like, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't there, unfortunately, at my young 10-year-old age. But I was like, but then if she's just, I remember hearing her lyrics and, just so musically and so passionately. I remember thinking, man, I wish more people were like Lil Kim. It wasn't that she's something, she's somebody to be shunned or looked down upon. No, I wish we had 1,000 more like passionate, can swallow a Sprite can, just making the world a better
suck
place.
Dick until her tummy hurts. I will say, because I did some research to look up the potential validity of this dick sucking rumor. And as it turns out, or at least according to the internet, that there doesn't seem to be a lot of correlation of Lil Kim and this stomach pumping story, right? What is fairly obvious, as you pointed out, is that Lil Kim has sucked a fair amount of dicks, and she seems to know how to tell when her belly's full from dick sucking. She doesn't. There's not a lot of evidence of her like going overboard, goldfish style, and waiting until her stomach's about to explode from putting penises in her mouth. Additionally, I will say that I looked up how much semen comes out per load, that how much a man ejaculates. And as it turns out, it's not that much. It's somewhere between like on average, somewhere between a teaspoon and a tablespoon amount of cum, which means that that's a whole lot of dicks to be sucking. Right. And that would have to be full dicks. Heavy balls to really get that stomach all the way to pumping point.
Okay. Yeah. So we got some medical journal facts over here. All right.
Okay. I didn't know you was gonna bring science to this motherfucker.
Okay, I'll be honest. You caught me a little bit off guard with that whole New England Medical Journal thing. All right. So. Because the problem is I also got a dumb mind. So I'm like, all right, between a teaspoon and a tablespoon, because I always forget which one is bigger. All right, and then secondly, who was measuring? Who was he gotta come right into it? Because that was a bacon measurement.
Man, you a tablespoon. Good for you. You got the tablespoon. You a teaspoon. Shame on you, big man. You gotta step your game up.
Yeah, I will say this. It only takes a tablespoon, just a tablespoon of baking powder to make a whole cake. So,
yeah, you know why I love that? Because I don't know what that means, but it's a fair point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's right.
Okay, the other thing that I'll say, and I can't imagine at this point you could even possibly be swayed, but the other thing I'll say is that this rumor apparently is not limited to Lil Kim. And in fact, when I originally pitched this podcast to big money players, one of the things that we talked about was this exact rumor that Lil Kim had sucked so many dicks that she had to get her stomach pumped. And the white producer that I was speaking to, a gentleman named Nick, said, "Oh, that's so funny because that is a rumor that I heard about Rod Stewart. That apparently Rod Stewart in the white community is the person who sucked so many dicks that he had to get his stomach pumped." And in fact, this is a rumor that has existed for a number of other celebrities, including Elton John, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, and Foxy Brown, amongst a host of others, I assume.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll tell you what, from hearing that now for the first time, I'm pretty sure that's, what do we say? Except for David Bowie and Foxy Brown, all true. Probably all true. Like I'd put money on it.
Sure.
Little Kim is not an isolated incident, people.
Wake up, sheeple. Okay.
Stop. Yeah, stop following the media.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time it happened. And obviously, a lot of times, rumors replicate life. You know, a little bit of lie, but a whole lot of truth. So it's not just Leah the liar who got her stomach pumped. Other people throughout history have had to get it pumped. And maybe it wasn't just the cum. Maybe it's a mix of a long night of drugs, a few different drinks, some hypno, throwing it up, and some cum. And then you got to get your stuff. And then, of course, you're going to be ill. Right?
Maybe Elton John had a big old plate of gumbo and sucked a lot of dicks, and now he had to get his stomach pumped, and all of that ain't cum coming out of there.
See, that's too much sodium.
Yeah,
see, that makes sense. That makes sense. I know my medical journals too. You can't have that much sodium.
You can't out medical journal me.
Yeah, it's going to throw off his acid-base ratio in his stomach. I know shit.
God damn.
Foxy Brown, I don't believe either, but that's a whole other thing.
Well, Kofi, I think you did it. I think you made your point known. Yeah. I think everybody who could argue with you now, given the information that you've sort of laid out in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. This was a wonderful episode. I had a lovely time with you. Could you tell the people at home where they can find you and what cool shit you have going on?
Oh, of course. Yeah. If you're looking for me and more of my silliness, I'm on Instagram at Kofi, Kofi comic. I'm at TikTok, same name, Twitter, DAKOFI. Yeah, I'm on all that. Then I'll be pulling some videos out, a lot of funny stuff. So, check it out and hit me up. Yeah, hit me up if you got like a lot of money and you hiring too. Mm-hmm. I'll take all that. Yeah. And I got a whole lot of theories. If you want to make a like little mini documentary about this thing, holla at me. I'm plug it in, baby. Let's go.
Well, please go follow Kofi. And if you got a lot of money and you want to hook him up, do that. And please support his gardens. He does beautiful work in the community and it needs to be supported. He's doing some dope shit. And as always, you can follow me at Langston Kerman on all platforms. Not TikTok. I haven't broken down there yet, but I probably will eventually once my spirit is fully crushed into a little bitty cube. And everything else you can like, you can subscribe, you can write reviews for the podcast, and that means the world to me. And send any of your conspiracy theories to mymommapod@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. Okay, that's all the talking. Oh, go ahead. You got something else.
Sorry, before we get out of here real quick, gotta say big thank you to my homie Langston. That's my homie for real, for all y'all out there. Known each other for a long time. That's my bro. So it's much love being on here. Shout out to everybody back in Boston. People in Brooklyn, all that. So yeah, much love.
Hey man, it's been an absolute pleasure. You killed this. This is so silly and fun, and we're gonna get in trouble, and I'm excited about it. All right, we did it. Bye, bitch.
Later.